So, thank you for coming back. I think we are ready for part 2, which will also be comprised of 3 presentations from the players in South Korea. Then again, it will be followed by a joint Q&A session like part 1 we just had. And then it will be followed up by a panel discussion between our 2 experts in trade and investment. And before we move on, I would just like to say that we will be happy to provide you with the presentation materials for a limited duration of time after this workshop. So please do not worry about it. And we would also be happy to convey you the contact information of the speakers who had taken part in the morning. So you are always welcome to continue your networking with the speakers. And yes, that's for it today. And because if it's all right, I would like to go on with maybe Dr. Yu first, because I guess I'll still wait. I guess I will still have to wait for Mr. Ku to come back. So if I may, we have Dr. Yu from Gangwon Technopark. As I've mentioned in the first part of our event, Gangwon province is a big area on the eastern shore of Korean Peninsula. Now he will be, Dr. Jae-seok Yu will brief us about the progress in the liquid hydrogen industry in Gangwon province.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Good morning in Germany and good afternoon in Korea. Thanks for having me in this workshop. My name is Jae-seok Yu, Director of Energy and Disaster Prevention Center, Gangwon Technopark, and Professor Emeritus of Mechanical Engineering at Aju University. Today, I will briefly talk about commercializing liquefied hydrogen and supporting related industry in Korea, especially in Gangwon province. Gangwon province is located in the central east region of Korean Peninsula, or where the Taebaek Mountains, which corresponds to the spine of Korea, pass by, has a long east coast. It has a beautiful nature surrounded by mountains, forests, and beaches. Gangwon Technopark is a vital innovation hub in close cooperation with local governments. It aims to support local businesses and to nurture the future growth engine industry in Gangwon province, and in turn to increase employment. The Energy and Disaster Prevention Center in particular is located in this area, Samcheon, and performs hydrogen-related tasks. First, let's talk about regulation-free special zone. From July 2019, Korean government is conducting an experiment of relaxing the regulation to booster new industries while minimizing the risk of side effects. Gangwon was selected as regulation-free special zone for liquefied hydrogen in July 2020 and conducts several projects regarding liquefied hydrogen. In normal environment, hydrogen exists as a gas. Then why do we use liquefied hydrogen? Because gaseous hydrogen occupies quite a large volume. It has to be compressed at very high pressure, as high as 850 bar, to decrease the volume to make it suitable for passenger vehicles, namely the hydrogen car or fuel cell electric vehicle. Here is where liquid hydrogen or liquefied hydrogen comes in handy. Pressure of the liquefied hydrogen is only 1 bar, but temperature is extremely low as minus 273 degrees Celsius or 20 Kelvin though. In terms of pressure, liquefied hydrogen is much safer than gas, and it can store much more mass in the same volume. How did Gangwon or Samcheok, to be more specific, how did it become the hub of liquefied hydrogen industry? Besides the strong will of the governor, Gangwon, especially Samcheok, has one of the major liquefied natural gas terminals in Korea. And so Samcheok has a great advantage in reducing the liquefaction cost by leveraging the cold energy produced by the existing LNG infrastructure. The main issue is how much power consumption can be reduced in hydrogen liquefaction plants on a commercial scale by LNG pre-cooling. As you may know, liquefied hydrogen has several advantages compared to gas hydrogen. The biggest advantage is that the specific volume of liquefied hydrogen is only 1/800th of the specific volume of gas hydrogen. This means that the area of the installation site or charging station, or maybe the fueling station, can be reduced by 1/10, make it easier to build charging stations in downtown or the city center. For electric vehicle, the fuel cell electric vehicle, the mileage can be increased by 10 times compared to gas hydrogen with the same storage volume. Therefore, storage and transportation costs can be reduced dramatically. Let me explain about the Liquefied Hydrogen Regulation-Free Special Zone project. This project is funded by central and local governments. The purpose of this project is to promote the liquefied hydrogen-related industries which currently lacks relevant laws and safety standards to do business. But in this special zone, and only within this zone, companies are allowed to do business of production, storage, transportation, and utilization of liquefied hydrogen. Final goals of this project are to create a full cycle value chain that can produce, transport, and utilize liquefied hydrogen and apply liquefied hydrogen to mobility, ships, drones, and UAM. The most important point of this project is to demonstrate proof of commercialization of liquefied hydrogen. Task one is commercialization or commercial demonstration of parts for liquefied hydrogen production and storage products. First detailed task is demonstration of production of pipes and valves for liquefied hydrogen. Several kinds of valves, for example, safety relief valve and check valve, and double tube for extremely low temperature applications are under development. Second detailed task is to build liquefied hydrogen containers and tanks with capacity up to 1,000 kilograms. And the third detailed task is to develop liquefied hydrogen tank trailer or tanker lorry for long distance transportation and loading and unloading. Task two is commercial demonstration of liquefied hydrogen charging station. First detailed task is to build liquefied hydrogen charging stations. Here's how it works. First, hydrogen is stored on site in liquid phase. Then liquefied hydrogen is vaporized and supplied to conventional gas hydrogen filling station. For the other type, liquid hydrogen is pressurized and flow through high pressure vaporizer and become high pressure gas and then charged to vehicle. Second detailed task is to build mobile liquefied hydrogen charging station to refuel hydrogen to ships and drones. Task 3 is commercialization of liquefied hydrogen-powered mobilities like fishing boats and drones for wildfire monitoring. Fishing boat with fuel cell and battery hybrid power system is under development, and we expect performing its first voyage earlier next year. Also, liquefied hydrogen-powered drones are being developed. Targets of this drone are up to 5-hour flight time and up to 25 kilograms of payload. Let me briefly explain some other ongoing projects. First one is green hydrogen production. We are building hydrogen charging station with green hydrogen production facility. Hydrogen is produced by proton exchange membrane electrolyzer, and source of electricity is wind power generator. Second one is on-site hydrogen production and charging station. In addition to charging station, hydrogen liquefaction facility is built in the same site. And so what's next? To commercialize liquefied hydrogen, we definitely need such as safety relief valve, high pressure pumps, and etc., which can be readily, reliably operated at very low cryogenic temperature. Also, international standard and internationally accredited test procedure and facilities are absolutely necessary. So the center's next plan is to become an accredited certification center and a test center for liquefied hydrogen. We are ready to collaborate with other national or international industries, institutions, and organizations. This is the future plan of Samcheok. Samcheok is working very hard to be the dream come true future hydrogen city. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yu, for your insightful presentation in the blueprint of Gangwon province. And I think we have Mr. Koo back.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
so
we had some
no
technical
problem. Yeah, we
here.
understand you had some technical difficulties, but I hope you can now share your screen with your presentation.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's ready.
Excellent.
Hello, my name is Andrew Koo from Korea. I work for Saemangeum Development and Investment Agency, a Korean national organization. I'm honored to introduce Saemangeum Green Hydrogen Cluster Project in Saemangeum. First, I will introduce Saemangeum project and its overview. Second, Green Hydrogen Cluster plan at Saemangeum. Third, I will tell you some expecting results of a Green Hydrogen Cluster project. Saemangeum is the name of huge reclaimed land and lakes, as well as Korean national project name. Saemangeum is located in the Midwest coast of Korean Peninsula. It's 1.5 hours away from Seoul by train. The size is 409 square kilometers. Land size is 291 square kilometer. Lake size is 118 square kilometer, with the world's longest seawall. Total cost for Saemangeum project is approximately 18.7 billion US dollars. Saemangeum is expected to play a role of gateway to Chinese markets in near future. Saemangeum project is divided into 3 areas. In area 1, there will be smart green industrial complex and an airport. In area 2, green hydrogen cluster, a seaport, and smart waterfront city. Tourism and leisure industry will mainly occupy area 3 here. SDIA, Saemangeum Development and Investment Agency, has a 7 gigawatt renewable energy plan around Saemangeum, 1.7 gigawatt by 2023, 3.6 gigawatt by 2026, 1.5 gigawatt by 2030 will be completed. Second part is about Saemangeum Green Hydrogen Cluster Plan. Mankind, as you know, mankind needed to respond to global climate change. Energy paradigm must be changed, and green hydrogen is appearing as one of the answers. Carbon economy will give in to hydrogen economy, and carbon neutrality is a global issue now. We think we can solve the intermittency problem through hydrogen storage using renewable energy in surplus. Green hydrogen is a milestone of hydrogen economy, and Korean government's roadmap shows hydrogen economy. Saemangeum is the most qualified area for the roadmap. We can supply large scale renewable energy, especially solar and wind power, and we are ready to establish gigantic hydrogen infrastructure in Saemangeum. Renewable energy enters into a green hydrogen cluster through a linkage system, and 100 megawatt electrolyzer will be produced, green hydrogen. 2.8 gigawatt solar farm, 1.6 gigawatt wind farm, and 2.4 gigawatt neighboring wind farm will be the source for green hydrogen cluster. Stored hydrogen will be used on ESS, hydrogen stations, and industrial use. Strong point of Saemangeum is a triport complex logistics system with airport, seaport, and railway. And various incentives will be given to tenant companies too. We need to proceed this project solving major issues in domestic green hydrogen industry through economy of scale, demand creation, high efficiency, and sustainable green hydrogen industry model. The facing problem now is a high cost of green hydrogen production. We are trying to establish the largest green hydrogen cluster in Saemangeum. We would like to realize Korean hydrogen economy early, leading hydrogen technology and production cost. Capacity goal is 100 megawatt, production amount 15,000 tons per year, 20 green hydrogen production companies, and 20 companies at support center. Saemangeum is trying to be a leading hydrogen economy cluster, hub of hydrogen production, and hub of hydrogen industry support. We have 7 gigawatt renewable energy plant, 2.8 gigawatt solar farm, 0.1 gigawatt wind farm, 2.4 gigawatt neighboring wind farm, 1.5 gigawatt Kunsan wind farm. We will proceed 2 main projects, electrolysis facility and support center for green hydrogen industry from 2023 to 2027. Total cost is $317.8 million US. To realize hydrogen economy, large-scale electrolysis, hydrogen production, and substantiation, central government's assistance should be proceeded. Establishment of operating organization and space for green hydrogen production, management and operation, corporate support. About 15,000 tons of hydrogen per year is a plan from around 2027, and the product hydrogen. The product hydrogen for vehicles and fuel cell in Jeonbuk province and nearby areas. Then we expect some results. Some policy goal is the low price for the production of hydrogen. And second is a reduction of CO2. For 2050 carbon neutrality agenda. I mean, that's Korea's. And we expect economical and technical effect too. Saemangeum Development and Investment Agency tries to make Saemangeum area as a Korean hub of green industry, according to a Korean carbon neutrality in 2050. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Mr. Koo. It was a very good presentation, and we could understand your blueprint in the future of Saemangeum, which has so many advantages in the region for green hydrogen. And I do have a question for Mr. Koo in Saemangeum Development Agency. So, and of course, we are welcoming some more questions on the Q&A panel or even raising your hand. So please do not be afraid. My question for Mr. Koo, Saemangeum, I have an impression that Saemangeum is unrivaled in getting the governmental support in the Republic of Korea for developing a green hydrogen cluster. I have noticed that it is the only cluster for green hydrogen at the moment in the peninsula. And would you briefly share with us the background for having been designated as such a cluster? And what would be the advantages that made Saemangeum a special location for green hydrogen in Korea?
Saemangeum has not been designated as a hydrogen cluster yet, but Korean government is actively preparing for 2050 carbon neutrality agenda, as you know. Saemangeum is a national project and has 7 gigawatt renewable energy farm plans. And also Saemangeum is the best place to realize government's hydrogen economy. So yeah.
Maybe my next question also relates to your blueprint in the region. I have seen in your presentation that you have a triport system with the airport and the railways and the port. And I was thinking, because Hamburg also has this kind of great transportation systems, this would maybe make your region an excellent spot for transporting hydrogen in future. And regarding the green hydrogen that you plan to produce in Saemangeum, would it only be used within the region for your fuel cell vehicles and stations, or would you have plans to upscale the production and utilize it in other regions as well? So if I may put it again, regarding your green hydrogen production, would you plan to use it beyond your region, beyond Saemangeum, into other parts of Korea? Yes.
Basically, Saemangeum plans to establish a hydrogen city. But the first step of the goal is at first is only for Saemangeum area, Saemangeum city, and but the tripod logistic system, that is we are planning only for Saemangeum area now. But next step the experts are planning for the next step. So I can't say the details right now here. Sorry.
Thank you very much. And I think I have a question for Dr. Yu in Gangwon Technopark at the moment. And we have learned about your plans in liquefaction of hydrogen in your industry. Are you only considering the LH2, the liquid hydrogen, or are you also considering to store it as other liquid compounds like ammonia and MCH? And what is the reason behind for selecting the method you have chosen at the moment?
Well, in Gangwon province, we are carrying out business based on mainly liquefied hydrogen, but the liquid organic hydrogen carrier nor ammonia is not excluded. Well, but the liquefied hydrogen is the most preferred substance compared to the liquid organic hydrogen carrier or ammonia. Because as you know, we need a conversion process to utilize hydrogen from ammonia, for example. And the liquefied and LOHC or ammonia is a kind of a storage method with lots of pros and cons. Anyway, at this moment, we are not excluding LOHC or ammonia as possible storage method and alternative fuel. However, we believe that the liquefied hydrogen will be the final winner for storage and transportation. So we are concentrating on the liquefied hydrogen.
Thank you very much for sharing that information. And maybe one more question for Dr. Yu. And we have learned that there are some green hydrogen elements in your projects as well. And this workshop is also for green hydrogen from Northern Germany and South Korea. So what kind of expectation do you have for the green hydrogen element? And would you expect green hydrogen to be economically competitive in the liquid hydrogen industry?
Oh, well, it's a two different story, green hydrogen or liquid hydrogen. Well, liquefied hydrogen is the kind of storage and transportation advantages compared to the gaseous hydrogen. So it's a different story. Well, anyway, green hydrogen manufacturing utilization expected to increase locally and nationally in Korea. And as I talked earlier, green hydrogen is produced by proton exchange membrane electrolyzer with the wind power electricity in Gangwon. And the capacity of electrolyzer is 1 megawatt. It's a small one. But the companies such as SK Plantech are preparing demonstration product with a capacity up to 10 megawatt electrolyzer. And several types of electrolyzers are also considered, for example, PEM, solid oxide electrolyzer, and so on. So at this moment, green hydrogen is not affordable. We have many hundred hurdles to overcome in front of us, but I'm sure that the development of a new technology or improved technology will solve these challenges. So finally, the green energy, green hydrogen will be the winner in the future of human mankind.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yu. And I think I just ran out of my questions. If there are any more questions coming up, please feel free to type them in the Q&A or even in the chat box. Sure, I have a request from Mr. Koo for,
yeah, thank you. I was impressed by the condition in Hamburg, especially in Senator West Hageman. You explained about your city, especially the harbor. I know that in Europe and of course your country Germany too, are very advanced in green hydrogen industry and decarbonization and etc. And Saemangeum area is being newly built. So we are like a baby. We are stepping forward step by step. So I think you have some experience, and I noticed that the harbor, we are building a really big harbor at Saemangeum. So maybe through the Korean Germany consulate, through Mr. Consulate General, Mr. Chung, maybe we can reach each other to cooperate. Maybe we could ask you some help. Could you do that, please?
I have Mr. Jung with his microphone on. Would you be willing to share your insights on?
Well, certainly, of course, that's the very purpose of this workshop. And before we had this workshop, I actually had some very productive discussion with the president of the Saemangeum Administration Agency, and he showed us a great interest in having some visit to this Hamburg, because we need to compare notes and also try to produce the synergies between this very interesting green hydrogen industrial cluster project. And certainly, I'm sure Senator Vestagiman also is very much interested in joining us in exchange of the ideas